Hello, everybody. Welcome to the audio version of the Delivery Formula, 5 Steps to Reach the Inbox by Benchmark Email. This guide was prepared by Daniel Miller, who is our marketing director, and Raquel Herrera, the regional manager in Europe. And I'm your host, Claude, and I will be reading this for you. It's really a good idea to download the manual as well because there's some really good graphics and there's some things you can print and use to actually take notes and prepare yourself. Here's why you should read or listen to this guide. We've created the guide so that you can get the best possible results from the moment you start using Benchmark. Implement the following tips for optimum open rates and email marketing success. With this guide, you'll learn how to define the private domain best suited for your business. You'll learn to add an SPF record and DKIM authentication to protect yourself against identity theft. You'll learn to clean your list to avoid high bounce rate and affect your reputation. Optimize your subject lines to improve your open rate, and apply the best content and design tactics to avoid spam filters. Ready? Let's go. Step 1. Define the private domain best suited for your business. If you have a business, there's really no excuse. There are certain things that must be done when starting a business, and getting a private domain is one of them. Using a private domain, for example, myname@mycompany.com, rather than a public domain like mycompany@gmail.com, is essential for many business reasons. Here are the top 3 reasons you should use a private domain for your email marketing. Reason number 1, email delivery. It's amazing to think that within 5 minutes, anyone can go online and get a free email address with a hefty amount of storage to communicate anyone across the globe. Here's a quote from one of our experts. Companies like Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, and many others offer this type of services. These are great for sending one-to-one emails to friends and family, but when it comes to marketing your business, these types of emails fall short. This was from Robert Schweikert, Customer Engagement Specialist. The providers of these free email services have to be very careful with spam and abuse. Anyone can create an account within minutes and start sending. Due to this, and because it's a free service, they tend to cap the sending limits on these types of accounts. Once you start to send to more than 200 subscribers at once, your emails will start to bounce or end up in the spam folder. A private domain is something you pay for and is intended for business use, allowing you to grow your list of subscribers with no sending limits. Reason number 2, security. Have you ever received an email from your mom or uncle saying that he or she needs help with some ridiculous task that involves sending money or downloading some strange document? These are a type of phishing scam. Having a public domain allows scammers to easily access your email for malicious activities. Some hackers can tap into your address book and send emails on your behalf to your close contacts to try to trick them into doing something. Imagine if they did this on behalf of your business? Secure your email sending with a private domain and by properly configuring your sender policy framework or SPF records. These are the simplest settings that come with your private domain and allow you to restrict and set the authorized services that can send email coming from your domain. For example, when you sign up to Benchmark Email, you will need to establish us as an authorized sender. We will explain more about SPF records in step 2. Reason number 3, serious business. This is just the cherry on top of it all. Using myname@gmail.com will make your business look less credible and less trustworthy. It's a public address with no real branding or personality. Anyone could have made that email address. It's just like the other 6 million plus addresses that have the same domain. Getting a private domain comes with security and email delivery benefits. It will also show your subscribers and potential customers that you mean business. You didn't just get a free domain. You took it to the next level and invested in your company to own and take full control of your brand. How and where to get a domain? If you already have a website, chances are you already have a domain. Some website services include free email address, or you may just need to enable the email settings to have access to your own private email. It's that easy. If you don't have a domain yet, follow these simple steps to get one. 1. Brainstorm some ideas. 2. Check the availability. 3. Register it. Let's go through those steps. 1. Brainstorming ideas. Use the sheet that we've provided in the download version of the manual to brainstorm some ideas for your domain. A few tips when doing this. Try to avoid hard-to-spell words. Keep your domain short and easy to remember. Avoid using numbers in your domain. Avoid hyphens. Use a name that means something to you and your business. And get the .com for your domain. There are some links in the download version of this manual that you can click on, which will take you to a few services that can also help you with this if you get stuck. But here's their names. Visualthesaurus.com gives you a visual around a keyword. Shopify Business Name Generator allows you to generate business name ideas and check domain availability simultaneously. NameMesh.com provides a startup company name generator. Naminum.com lets you generate names based on a theme. And there's many more. 2. Check availability. Once you have a few ideas in mind, use the service whois.net to check if it's available. If your favorite domain is already taken, this service will also tell you who to contact so you can check if the domain is for sale. And step 3, register it. There are many ways to register a domain. If you already have a website, check with your hosting company to see if they have any specials or deals available. If you don't have a website, you can check out any of the following services to buy a domain and hosting: Squarespace.com, Wix.com, oneandone.com, and GoDaddy.com. The links to these are available on the download version of this manual. You can put step 1 into practice by printing out page 10 of the downloadable manual. But in short, you'll be making a list of domains you'd like to use to represent your business. You'll write down the annual price of each to help you make your decision. This is step 2 of the 5 steps to reach the inbox. Authenticate your emails by adding a Sender Policy Framework record, also known as an SPF record. Adding an SPF record helps protect against identity theft. This tip comes from our expert Irene, who is a training manager. These records are highly valued by spam filters. Having an SPF record set up can mean the difference between your emails ending up in the spam folder or not. In other words, an SPF record is a type of domain name service, or DNS record, that identifies which email servers are permitted to send email on behalf of your domain. The purpose of an SPF record is to prevent spammers from sending messages with forged from addresses from your domain. If you think the previous description was a bit too technical, here's an example of how it works. When you create a private domain, for example, yourcompanyname.com, it comes with a text file that defines what servers can send email from that domain. By default, it comes with the server you purchased the domain from. That way, if someone tries to send emails from your domain on a different server, the ISPs such as Gmail, Outlook, etc. will see that the email was sent from an unauthorized sender and the email will be blocked. That's why when you sign up to services like Benchmark Email, it's important for you to authorize our servers to send on your domain's behalf. Adding an authorized sender to your SPF records is easy. Each hosting provider normally has their own instructions on how to do this. You may search through their knowledge base or contact their support for help. Once you find and edit your SPF records, you will simply have to add a line of text. An example of how to add Benchmark Email to your SPF records is included on page 13 of the downloadable manual. Once you've entered that text file, you may test your configuration. Check that your SPF record is correctly configured with the SPF query tool. You will find a link to that on page 14 of the manual. Paste your domain name without the www in the domain name field and click Get SPF Record, if any. On page 14 of the downloadable manual, you'll see a screenshot of what it looks like when your domain has passed. Here's a bonus: DKIM authentication. Since you understand the importance of updating your SPF records, let's double down and teach you about DKIM authentication. What is DKIM? Domain Keys Identified Mail grants an organization the responsibility of a message being delivered. The organization is either the main sender or the originator of the email message. The organization is known as the identifier. The identifier's reputation is responsible for the email delivery success. Ultimately, DKIM verifies the domain through cryptographic authentication. In plain English, Benchmark automatically authenticates the DKIM for email campaigns being sent from our service. Authenticating the DKIM for our senders helps secure the delivery through SPF filters. Now, when you are using your email domain, we suggest you also enable your DKIM CNAME and give yourself a double authentication. This tells ISPs who you are and will help you build your own reputation with Benchmark Email as your cosigner, per se. On page 16 of the downloadable manual, you'll see an example of the headers of a published DKIM CNAME. It is using bmsend.com to send. However, the describer will only see the business domain. To take full advantage of DKIM, You'll need to update your DKIM CNAME for each of the domains you will be sending from. Updating your CNAME is the only step you will have to complete. It is not mandatory to update your CNAME, but we highly recommend it. Benchmark encourages you to update your DKIM and begin your path to email delivery success. On page 16 of the downloadable manual, you'll be able to copy the correct CNAME record for DKIM and its value. Note, you can authenticate CNAME for more than one sending domain. How to set up DKIM. You can only update your DKIM authentication with private domains. If you're using a free email service like Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, etc., you will need to purchase a domain, as we explained in step 1 of this guide. Once you have a domain, each hosting company has different steps on how to do this. You may search through their FAQs or contact their support for help. If you do contact their support, just mention that you would like to update your DKIM CNAME to authenticate your email marketing service provider. Step 3 of 5 to reach the inbox. List verification. It's important to verify your list on a regular basis. Have you ever tried calling someone you hadn't spoken to in years only to find out that he or she has changed their number? Well, that can also happen with email. As people change jobs or grow out of the email address that they made in high school, you will find yourself with a lot of outdated and undeliverable email addresses. The main issue here is that the ISPs take this seriously. If you receive a high number of bounces, the ISPs will see you as someone who doesn't pay much attention to the cleanliness of your list and will doubt the fact that you have permission to send to these emails overall. Due to this, it's important to verify your list on a regular basis. We recommend that companies verify their list once every 1 or 2 years. Where can you verify your list? There are many companies that can provide this service. We recommend Bright Verify and Kickbox. When you upload your list to be verified, these services will detect 4 main categories: valid and/or deliverable. Emails marked as valid have a valid account associated with them, and it's safe to send campaigns to them. Invalid or undeliverable. As the name says, these are email addresses that will bounce and it won't be possible to deliver emails. It may be that this address is no longer in use, or that the format of the address is incorrect. It's recommended that you check through your list for incorrectly formatted email addresses before verifying. An incorrect format would be, for example, an email that's missing the ampersand or @ symbol. You can also check for typos or clear spelling errors. The third type is accept all and/or risky. Email addresses that come back as accept all can be risky since the servers are set up to accept anything. This is a common practice for spam traps. We normally do not recommend sending email to accept all type email addresses. The fourth type is unknown. These types of email addresses don't send back any sort of response. This could be because the server timed out or one of many other reasons. For these type of addresses, we recommend scanning them a second time or excluding them from your list overall to be safe. On page 21 of the downloadable manual, you'll see a good graphic example of what a verified list summary looks like. Goro Kasajara, our customer engagement specialist from Japan, says, keeping a clean, verified list will reduce your bounce rate by 98% and will ensure a good reputation with the ISP to keep your delivery rates high. Choose one of the previously recommended services. Let's put step 3 into practice. Print page 22 of the downloadable manual and fill it out when you verify your list. After you've verified and analyzed your results, you can then upload your valid addresses to Benchmark to have better results. Step 4 of the 5 steps to reach the inbox. Craft subject lines that get your emails opened. This is by far the most important part of this manual. Craft subject lines that get your emails opened. Inboxes today are crowded. The secret is out on email marketing. By now, everyone has heard of the impressive ROI. Your success will come when you can stand out in the crowd. That's why a subject line is so important. Without a great subject line, your email will go ignored or worse, get deleted. So, what makes a great subject line? It feels urgent. If you're hosting a flash sale or only have a few remaining spots left for your latest webinar, write a subject line that will compel your subscribers to act immediately. You cannot use this strategy every time, but used sparingly, you can use your subject line to tell your customers that the deal is for today only or that you're almost sold out of tickets to your upcoming event. A great subject line makes you want to find out more. Creating some allure can go a long way in getting your emails opened. Telling a subscriber that you won't believe or this is what happened when will likely make them curious enough to proceed to your email. A great subject line presents value. Everyone likes free stuff, or at least a great deal. Give them an offer they can't refuse in the subject line, and it will increase the odds of your email being opened. A great subject line feels personal. Nobody enjoys feeling like they're being marketed to, especially if it feels non-personal or like you've been lumped in with a group of people. You can use merge tags to insert a subscriber's name into a subject line. Just be careful doing it. Your subscribers are getting smarter and smarter, and you don't want a name being added to a subject line to scream automation. Make sure it feels natural. A great subject line name drops. If you've managed to work Game of Thrones into your content while everyone is talking about the show around the water cooler, you better believe it's going to catch your subscribers' attention if you tease it in the subject line. The same goes for any other pop culture icon in the news today. If we write a subject line saying, 5 email template designs as handsome as George Clooney, it's probably going to get your email open. Who could resist? A great subject line also tells a story. Every once upon a time requires a happy ending. If your subject line teases a great story, your email subscriber will open your email to find out what happens next. So, how do you write a great subject line? Get to the point. With such a large number of emails being opened on mobile devices today, you don't have much space before your subject line gets cut off. Shoot for 50 to 60 characters. Also, be very clear and concise with what you say. Tell them the exact benefit they can expect from opening your email rather than just saying that there is a benefit. When writing your subject line, deliver on your promise. Be honest about what you're teasing in your subject line. You're going to upset your subscribers if they open your email and they don't find what you told them about in the subject line. When writing your subject lines, set expectations. Tell your subscribers what they'll find inside. If you're delivering a manual they requested, tell them. Say something like, look inside for your new manual. When writing your subject lines, use action-oriented verbs. Your subject line is a call to action to get your email opened. Beginning your subject lines with words like start, stop, build, grow, join, learn, and discover will go a long way towards getting your email opened. When writing a great subject line, flattery will take you places. Make your subscribers feel special, unique, or like you're giving them some exclusivity. Send them a private invite or call them your beloved customers. Use numbers. Don't just tell your subscribers you're giving them tips on something. Tell them how many tips. It helps people know what they're in for when they open your email. While writing your great subject line, ask a question. If you can pose a compelling question that piques the interest of your subscribers, they're likely to open the email to learn more. House Hunting Zillow has used "What can you afford?" successfully with their subscribers. When writing your subject line, puns are fun. Most subscribers enjoy a well-placed or timed pun. If you can give your subscribers a chuckle, they'll start to look forward to your email campaigns and will open them every time. Here's what to avoid. Avoid all caps and too many exclamation points. More than one is probably too many. Besides the fact that it will make you look like spam, it's just obnoxious. Don't make your subscribers feel like you're yelling at them. We've given you far more effective strategies to stand out. We asked the Benchmark team to share some of their favorite subject lines. On page 27 of the downloadable version of this manual, you will find some examples of great subject lines. Are you struggling to write a great subject line? On page 28 of the download version of this manual, you'll see a link to a subject line generator. Copywriting Course has created this online generator. All you need to do is enter the subject line of your email campaign, and they will generate 125 subject lines based on it. We also like to use CoSchedule's Headline Analyzer to check the quality of our subject line. You will find links to both of those tools on page 28. Now that you know what makes a great subject line, how to write one, and have some tools to help you, it's time to test the ideas you've come up with. A/B testing removes the guessing game. You don't have to wonder which one of your 2 or 3 favorites will perform best, nor will you have to poll everyone sitting around you in the office. With A/B testing, you can test your top 2 or 3 options against one another with a small section of your list. Each will be sent to a percentage of the list. Whichever subject line gets more emails opened, the remainder of your list will receive that email and subject line. Let's also talk about from name. Who your email is coming from is as important as your subject line. They work in tandem as they're right next to one another in every inbox. When a subscriber looks at their inbox, they will quickly scan the name of the senders and open the emails from their friends, family, favorite bands, a child's teacher or coach, or important business contacts. Giving the from name a human touch can be helpful. Try writing your name at your business or your first name from your business. As always, test to see what works. You can even A/B test from names. Preview text is the other part of the equation when it comes to what your subscribers see in their inbox. Preview text is additional text that will display in the inbox that lets you build on what you started in the subject line. It's also a peek inside as to see the content that awaits your readers. If you don't set the preview text yourself, the inbox client will automatically pull in copy from your email. Depending on the content of your email, this can look sloppy or may not even make sense to your subject line. Take advantage of the opportunity given, allowing you to set your preview text. It should be less than 75 characters and should follow similar rules to your subject line in regards to what makes for a great one and how to write them. And here it is, step 5 of 5 to reach the inbox. Apply the best content and design tactics to avoid spam filters. Design your campaigns so that they avoid spam filters. In this final step of your practical guide to deliverability, we're going to be speaking about the aspects of design and email content and their impact on whether or not your email avoids spam filters. On page 33 of the downloadable manual, there is a graphic that will explain the different do's and don'ts of email design. I'll go over a few of them. Keywords and phrases. There are expressions that should be avoided as much as possible. Free, earn money, millions, extra income, free gift, guarantee, as seen on TV, get paid weekly, limited time, mortgage, commitment, get out of debt, price, thousands, and lose weight. You should also avoid excessive punctuation use. Don't put a period behind every letter. Avoid excessive use of alphanumeric characters. Avoid excessive use of capital letters. Be careful with this one. We often see emails full of titles and phrases in all caps. Try to strike a balance because you don't want to look spammy. Shortened links are considered to be spammy and consequently, our system rejects them. They're not necessary as our tool automatically reports on and tracks your links for you. When using images, use captions. If the subscriber has images turned off, the caption will help them understand what the email is all about. In the body of your email, make sure your unsubscribe link is easy to read and view. In keeping with good practices of email design, add a clear call to action or CTA to your emails to increase engagement. Now let's put this action plan to work. Each of these 5 steps is an important part of email deliverability. However, all of us have to start somewhere. If SPF records and DKIM seemed too technical for you, maybe put a pin in that and focus on getting the right domain, having your list verified, or improving your subject lines. Then, you can ask for help with the other steps. After all, in this recipe for deliverability success, you wouldn't want to leave out a key ingredient. That'd be like eating a cookie with no sugar. Each of these steps are the right ones towards great email marketing. For more on what makes a great email, download our free guide, What Makes a Great Email. Learn how to create emails that get opened and convert with our 47-page guide. You can find the download link on the last page of this downloadable manual. And that's it. We've come to the end of the 5 steps to reach the inbox. If you still have questions, please feel free to contact us. Our website is benchmarkemail.com and our blog is blog.benchmarkemail.com. And if you're wondering who Benchmark is, since day one, we help businesses thrive with online sales and marketing solutions. Benchmark Email offers an integrated, automated, and robust feature set built to help the enterprise of any size. Simply powerful, powerfully simple. Benchmarkemail.com. Thank you for listening.